getting this 80%. It will be challenging every day. It will be exciting every day. For that, plan from now so that you can crack. We are having our esteemed guest who has cracked several times. He can guide you across. Please go ahead with this particular program in your mind. Later we will tell you how we are planning this to train you to crack CSR, net get. With this, I thank all of you and thank our esteemed guests. I'm hard pressed with some other thing. I'm leaving the dais to you and to him. You can share your views, ideas, and other things. Thank you, Anila.
Thank you, ma'am. And now I request you to do the honors to the esteemed guest.
Ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I'm privileged to introduce today's resource person, Dr. Raghunath Sir. Sir is presently a research and JRF exam coordinator at Asign Bioscience Private Limited, Bengaluru. He has completed MSc, MPhil, and PhD. He has been awarded many awards. I'll read out one by one. He has been awarded CSIR JRF with rank 189 rank and UGC JRF in 2009 with the rank 272 rank. And this exam, that is CSIR JRF and UGC JRF, is being conducted by CSIR New Delhi. He's been qualified GATE examinations during 2004 and 2009 with more than 90%. He has been awarded ICMR JRF in 2005 and also 2006 by ICMR under project category New Delhi. He's been qualified KSET in 2014, which is conducted by Government of Karnataka. He also qualified ASRB NET, that is in 2004, which is conducted by Indian Council of Agricultural Research, ASRB, New Delhi. So many exams Sir has cleared. So he is really an inspiration to all of you. And he has been invited as a resource person and delivered many talks, such as he has been invited to talk on research and academic prospects in biology at Mount Carmel Postgraduate Center, KLE Center, and also KLE Nijalingappa College, Bengaluru. He has been invited to talk on the awareness program at national level entrance examinations on the occasion of National Science Day at Vivipuram College. He's been invited as a chief guest to talk on plethora of bioavenues at Mount Carmel College Postgraduate Department of Biotechnology in Bangalore. He was also invited to deliver a talk on fellowships and research opportunities for life science students in a national seminar. So, Dr. Raghunath Sir has published many research papers in reputed journals, both nationally and internationally. Now, I request Dr. Raghunath Sir to kindly present his talk on strategies to crack CSIR, UGC, NET, SLET, and JRF competitive exams. Over to you, sir.
What kind of students are there? Like all MScs, like microbiology, biotechnology, all MScs. Okay. So is this fine? sound and okay, first of all, good morning to one and all. So, first, let me thank the organizers, Professor Anuradha Madam, Dr. Bindu Madam, and Dr. Peenal Bauchi sir, other faculty members. Okay. And my dear students, for inviting me to disseminate the information for recording the national level exams. Now let me begin my talk, which focuses on plethora of bio avenues, which can help you to craft your career. So where there is a lot of opportunities in the field of biology, by recalling a famous quote given by Nobel Prize Indian physicist Sir C.V. Raman, which says the essence of science is in the thinking and art, so not the equipment. And of course, it is a piece of inspiration to those and also to drive those who are worried about unavoidable hindrances, so in their lives to achieve their goals and success. Of course, this was our first Nobel Prize in the field of science. Another 38 years we didn't get any kind of Nobel Prize until Corona during 1968 for his studies at genetic code. And I think some students are not attentive who are sitting at back chairs. Listen to me carefully. Some students are not attentive who are sitting at back. Before I start this, I'll tell you one thing which is very important. I have spent a lot of many days to construct these PPTs, and since I'm obsessed for teaching, I'm here, right? And one important thing, at least you have to show 10 minutes at the end of the session. There was not even a single question earlier in the same college when I had visited 2.5 years back when Dr. Harish was working here. And this is not a cooked up story images that I have kept. Even to prepare one slide, I have taken more than a day. So don't neglect these things. Okay, fine. So I was talking about Nobel Prizes. Of course, there are only 3 in science, and one is in 1930s for C.V. Raman, and the next is another 38 years for Corona, and recently it was 2009 to Venkatraman Ramakrishnan for his studies on structure and function of ribosomes. Now, of course, in my talk, it won't be too much, biology. Here and there will be a little sense of humor, and also there is a little history also. And I'm sure this will become the best talk ever for you people if you want to really craft your career in the field of biology, right? So I'll go ahead with this. The biggest thing, considering that you are all at the second semester or first semester or fourth semester, whatever it is, but before you leave the college, you are supposed to get ready with some of the fellowships which has been given by any of the funding organizations such as ICMR or CSR or DBT. There are many, you can see that. Now I can easily justify for the image what I have kept here, a tree with lot of leaves, and just to say that there is so many opportunities for you just after finishing your MSc. That doesn't mean that if you merely finish MSc, you'll get to know that. Okay. Now, the first question that arises the moment you complete your graduation, what next after post-graduation? The biggest puzzle. Very unfortunately, most of the people will get this puzzle or they'll come to this dilemma only when they are going to come out of the college. Even if you have this puzzle on the day of entry into any postgraduate colleges, you will not be there in any puzzle or in dilemma what to do and what not to do, right? The most important thing is It is what next after post-graduation, the biggest puzzle. Now, usually, so for most of the MSCs, they'll be totally confused, and that confusion, if I'm not wrong, see, I have 20 years experience in all these national level entrance exams, and I have worked in ILC, James ASR, and of course, I have done my PhD from Demands. Okay. So this dilemma, confusion, all these things, they comes only out of your mediocre subject knowledge. That's confirmed. I'm not insulting the intelligence of any, my fellow teachers here, but that's a mistake of any teacher actually. So that I'll come to discuss about that. And as you know that there is a Buddhist monk who said, Jongchen Ponla, he said, when we wake up from our confused state of minds, and that's what enlightenment. I'll try my level best to enlighten you and to take you out from this, any kind of confusions or dilemmas. So, usually, what you think of the first incidence is your employment. The moment you ask, what is your next plan? It's a job. But you have to understand one thing. So there are many jobs for you. I'll tell you what are the jobs that you can go and apply. But the point is neither you go for a teaching position, nor for a company, nor for a research institute. Nobody will take you without asking questions in the subjects what you have studied. That is the most important. It's not merely that you have completed your MSc and you have been welcomed by companies and research institutes. So have some knowledge, you'll have a lot of questions. You'll get to know that. But in case if you want to really craft your career in research field, I don't, enjoy. So going for a company or going for, what is that, the teaching positions, okay? As I said, not recommended unless the candidate is under extreme financial constraint, that too it should be a temporary job. Now you might ask me a question, sir, then why are you teaching? I'm obsessed for teaching. You cannot say that, everybody who has done PhDs from national institutes has to keep on holding the pipette throughout around the clock. No. See, I was earlier to demands, I was being selected in IIT Kharagpur, and I was being allotted the hostel also in Triple M building. I mean the Madan Mohan Malviya building. See, I have done my PhD just for the sake of society, but that is not, and that is different issue. Since I'm obsessed or I'm compassionate to teach, I'm there in teaching field. That doesn't mean that everybody who has done MSc has to go towards research only. Now, to some extent, I can recommend you to go for teaching. The need of an hour is to get some money and to get ready with your books and start preparation. But the other thing is, it is your deviations. Look at this. The worst thing which I have seen in most of the students who are just coming out from any college, not only from Padma, even from universities or any other thing. Sir, I read for almost 16, 17 years, I have to take a gap. As if they have gone in and out of line by line of 1,336 pages of Lenin, right? Now it is not that. So taking gap, of course, you have to take a gap of a week or 15, 20 days maximum. Now, most of the people, if you take a gap of 2 months after MSc finish, you will get a permanent gap in your biology career, no doubt about it. And see, getting a CSR or ICM or a DPT is not so easy, and it's not so tough also. Okay, first time I got around 9 marks out of 200. The ranking was 7th rank in the country. So it's not a big issue for you people. And another most important thing is, so your deviations also includes the MBA. Imagine your colleague who was done MBA and getting better job or a better salary than you after completing your biotech. You will easily fall prey to such room and get up with biology and start doing MBA or MCA and medical coding as a part of other things. To be very frank, I don't know any of these things except reading the real books going towards the basic research. So I don't entertain, I don't entertain this getting deviated. See, definitely you have already jumped into C of biology, either you have to carry on this one. That's it. Don't get deviated. Once you are deviating, means not competent in the subject. That's what the message that it says to everybody. Now today I am going to, in case if your aim is to go ahead with biology research or getting into JRFs or to PhDs, Definitely, my interaction with you today will become really fruitful. And keep this as a promise that you will never get this kind of information in any of the other forums, which is very, very important. I could have been confused you talking a lot of microarray data or EM data, whatever I have done during my PhD. That's of no use to you. But my duty is to say what you are supposed to do. It's not, my duty is not to just give a show off that I have done so many things, just putting a lot of graphs and complicated EM pictures. And that's of no use to you. And, in fact, you are going to do that the moment you get any of your fellowship. And as you know that the scope of pursuing PhD, right? So has been increased several times over the past few years as it provides more suitable care opportunities and of course it is stable also. Now, so what you want to do is the most important. See, in case if you want to really go ahead with the PhD or research and all, and if you are at financial constraints, of course, just go ahead with the teaching job. I will not say teaching job is of no use to the you people. I really love to the bottom of heart that I love teaching. So, but teaching, so the need of an hour is to get some bread and butter. Just teach students, learn subject, and while you are doing so, you start applying for this competitive exams. This will be recommended only if you are under financial constraints, right? But you can come back to teaching, to research, research to teaching. That is possible. That's what you take my, I think as an example. There are a lot of people who are my students working in IIC, JNCs, throughout the country and even abroad. But they don't want to teach actually. But I want to teach. So I have done my PhD and then I came back to research. Then I'm into science right. Deviations. Now, if you really talk about some people just deviated from doing MSc, they will really say, they won't be happy even after getting 1 lakh salary. Now, they keep on thinking that PCR, cloning, mitochondria, only even in front of computer and doing some insurance job or a lot of other. To be very frank, I don't know any of other, jobs because I never thought of getting deviated. There's no compromise in competitiveness, right? Today I'm going to talk to you about these competitive exams. Now, if you just look at this, so how do you achieve this higher studies in India? So there are a lot of exams which has been conducted by various organizations or funding organizations. So they include, say, for example, a lot of fellowships such as UGC CSR Net, ICMR JRF, DBT JRF, and GATE, Excel, and BT. I mean to say biotechnology and life sciences. There are other LS exams that will be around NET LS and ASR Net, of course. So the Karnataka state eligibility test, similarly, you have a lot many more exams throughout the country. More than 10 to 12 states conduct their own double eligibility tests. Now, don't get confused with SET and SLET. SET was a rechristened name for SLET. Earlier, state level eligibility test. Now it is state, state eligibility test. K set, TN set, AP set. So they are the things, right? Now the other two things I'm not going to discuss. The middle one. Say for example, the internship. If I'm not wrong, you are eligible only for this BICEP. BICEP is post MSc and Indian Academy of Sciences, National Academy of Sciences, Indian National Science Academy. These are all the internship programs where you can apply when you are in first semester only. So scholarships also. Imagine if you listen to me carefully, definitely you will get the best part. Now, in case if you are not able to clear CSR also, there is a chance that for you to do PhD in national institutes only with some specialized fellowships such as Inspire fellowships. Of course, this is for the rank holders of a university. So I'm not going to discuss that too much, but I'm going to discuss about Maulana Azad National Fellowship as well as Rajiv Gandhi National Fellowship. Now, of course, so when I'm going to discuss with all these examinations, there are very commonalities are there. So which I don't want to repeat in the every slide. So just I'll read out and keep this in your mind. So if I get the group emails of your college, don't worry. You concentrate on understanding what I'm talking and try to set up some questions. Definitely these slides I'm going to send it to you so that you can have a look at that. Now, candidates from all branches are eligible for all the national level entrance exams. Whatever I have mentioned, like CSIR, NETO, GATE, and all other things, all branches, like say for example, applied genetics, botany, zoology, microbiology, biotech, everybody is eligible to apply for this. There is no confusion in this. Even BTech biotechnology people also they are eligible. And most of the exams except KSET, Karnataka State Eligibility Test, they are computer-based tests. Now, for most of the tests, qualifying percentage in master should be between 50 and 60. Some people say in some exam they say it is 50. Some people will ask you 55, and again that differs. So 50, 55, and 60 maximum. So the other thing is the maximum age is 28 years for general and 33 years for OBC, SC, ST, and women candidates. So this is what they require, okay, from your side. And Bengaluru will have centers for all the exams. See, whenever I used to write the ICM, Indian Council of Medical Research, the way back 2009 and 10. So we used to go to Chennai. So and even for DBT bet also. So now Bengaluru will have the centers for all these things. All the tests, you have the exam, Bengaluru as a center. For most of the exams, there will be a negative marking. See, limit about how much negative marks that they score, like 0.33, somebody will say it is 0.5, somebody will say it is 0.6, somebody will say it's 1. So we are not worried about the ground reality that what you need to understand is the competitiveness in subject. Let them ask any pattern, any number of questions or any whatever the negative marks there, even any center. That doesn't mean that if you write your CSIR and all in Bengaluru with a cool weather, you will get more marks and less in Hyderabad. You understood? So I'll get back to you that, because even I have experienced. Now, except UGC CSIR, the frequency is yearly for all other tests. So except CSIR means, CSIR conducts 2 times an examination during the month of June and December. But due to COVID issues, it was terribly irregularized actually. And from now onwards, it has got regularized. So I need to say, almost at the end of March, they'll call, there will be a notification. So, and there will be an exam on June 15th, maximum June 15th or 21st. The 2nd or 3rd Sunday of June, 2nd or 3rd Sunday of your December. Now, validity for LS, in case if you clear lectureship exams. So, once you clear, say for example, LS, NET LS, which has been conducted by UGC CSIR. Hey, see how what is it? 45 minutes. Okay. So once you clear LS, it is for lifetime. You clear now and keep working in some college or keep working in some company. Definitely one day or the other day, the state governments of your own place, they'll call for the positions and you are eligible. Now, and for JRF, Junior Research Fellowships, and it is for 2 years. I mean to say that once you clear this examination, you are supposed to enter into any national institutes within 2 years. I mean to say that your fellowships has to be activated within two years. Now, 2 years is a great time actually. You just clear CSIR or ICMR or come to me and get you a PhD portion within 2 months. And I'll send you to meet a professor within 2 days. Because that is what is the gate pass, for you to enter. MSc, I am not demotivating saying that MSc is of no use. It is required, I'll tell you, even I am also from MSc. Okay. Monthly stipend is same for all the exams, except there will be a little changes in their contingencies. I mean to, sorry, I was little rude, I believe, right? That's what that is also to make sure that you are supposed to be attentive. I cannot tolerate that kind of things, neither from these people nor from students, especially students, right? I think if you, I'll talk to you about that later on. Okay, so the complete, whatever the fellowships that you will get is same for all the competitive exams, except there will be a little changes in contingencies. What do you mean by contingencies? Say, for example, if you just clear CSIR or ICMR and go and join for a company, any national level, national institute, you will be paid 20,000 or 30,000 per year to purchase your basic stationeries. Say, for example, pen, pencil, whatever your scale, and that I'll talk to you. So this is all the commonalities. Everybody is eligible for every exam. All exam centers are there in Bangalore. So there will be a little variation in the negative marking. And of course, the other thing is contingencies. The fellowship is same, and almost HRA is also same. And the same respect, same prestige if you do your PhD across the country. Now you just do your clear, read in Bangalore, write your exam in Bangalore, and if you love Delhi, go back to Delhi and start doing your PhD in IIT Delhi or ICGEB or NIA, right? Now, in addition to this, there are a lot of institutional specific or university specific examinations such as NIMANS. NIMANS exam is only seat. There are only 2 seats in NIMANS. Of course, I'll tell you so many number of options. So where you can get into any of these institutions. First, when I wrote NIMANS, I was not able to clear, even after this CSI. So the next time again, I got a first rank in NIMANS examination, and I just selected via their exam only. I was after neurochemistry and started doing something on Parkinson's disease, which is the second most dangerous neurodegenerative disease after the AD. So that is Alzheimer's. Now you have NIMANS exam. Now keep this in your mind. The new NEP says, National New Education Policy says that there is no MPhils, no more MPhils, right? There was MPhil at NIMANS also. Now it has got cancelled, and no doubt that you can write. There is NIMANS PhD entrance for biophysics, and there is PhD entrance for neurophysiology. There is no PhD entrance for the neurochemistry and all other things. So I have avoided the CSI. Now Hyderabad Central University. So in case at least, since all of you are, so there is no BScs here, right? There's no BScs. So you just recommend this for your juniors that HCU, Hyderabad Central University, is the best university to do your MSc biochemistry after the Jamia Millia Islamia. So that's also a really good institute to do biochemistry. MSc biochemistry, biotechnology, molecular biology, plant and animal sciences. And in case if you are already compromised to some extent, okay, so you have a HCU PhD examination also. Now you can apply for TAFR also, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, and All India Institute of Medical Sciences. So National Brain Research Institute, if at all, if you are really interested to go ahead with neurosciences, there is 2 options for you. One is NIMANS and the other one is NBRC Maneshwar, right? So, and then Baba Atomic Research Center and JNU, etc., etc. But the top things what you have to give priority is CSIR, ICMR, DBT, and GATE. And out of this 4, top 3 is your CSIR, ICMR, and GATE, because you are supposed to get more than 98% in GATE in order to get into the best institutes like IIT and IIC. So I missed my PhD seat in IIC with 0.14 percentile because I was above 98. There was one girl who got more than me, and she got into PhD, and the same year I got in IIT. Because I personally feel it is important for our happiness also when we are trying to do PhD and all. So I was there for only 8 days in triple M building, and then see, because we don't like that kind of hot weather, especially South people. So I just ran back to Bengaluru, leaving IIT, and that was the first IIT. Okay. Now, the first exam that you are going to, you are supposed to understand is Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, which is also called as Joint CSI UGC NET exam, which has been conducted by the National Testing Agency, which is the nodal agency, which comes in the Ministry of Science and Technology. Now, UGC CSI, I think, can you read for one? Come down, chairs in front. Come down, why are you going back always? That's a common thing. This is what I think about it. So can I go ahead? So as you all know that, the CSR JRF, okay, CSR JRF, you know that the undoubtedly the toughest and fiercely competing national level eligibility test conducted by NTA in order to select the candidates for the award of JRF to carry out the research in leading PhD institutions, I mean the national level institutions, and also to determine the eligibility for the appointment of lecturers in government universities and colleges. See, the point is very clear. I have already told all the commonalities, okay, which is there for all the national level entrance exams. Now, what you have to understand is, you just keep in your mind that whatever the things which I'm going to display here, you are supposed to write when you are at third semester or fourth semester. It's not after MSc, and it is always better in case if you start even from first year, because you are eligible the moment you go to second year. So you don't know, because most of the people, so they will give you 2 years time once you clear the exam. By the time you will get certificates from Bangalore University and you can submit to Delhi and get your fellowship and go ahead with your PhD. Now, so as I have already said, so commonalities I have explained, like everybody is eligible for every examination, centers are so and so, there is similar cutoff, there is similar age, relaxations, everything. Now, but there are some specific things which I need to talk to you in specific exams. So as I have already said, it is the most popular, prestigious, and no doubt that a fiercely competing national level entrance exam in the country. Now the point is eligibility, that all branches of science students are eligible for this exam, and so for JRF and LS, there is age limits for JRF, not for LS. I mean to say that UGC CSIR will conduct the test and give you 2 certificates. One is JRF, the other one is LS. So I'll tell you the difference between LS and JRF. And minimum percentage that you are supposed to get your postgraduate degrees is 55 for general and OBC and 50, as I have already said. So maintain it 50 to 60, that is enough, to be very frank. My marks at MSc is rounded up to 60, 59.6, I got 60. It doesn't mean that the people who have scored 85 or 90 in their postgraduate degrees, they'll score better at CSI. No. There is no link for the marks what you get in BScs or MScs with the, say, in the CSI. That's how the difference between the NEET exam and the marks that they score in +2 colleges. In case, there are students who scored 92, 93, but they were not even scored 20, 30% in NEET exam. That's what the final filter. See, don't consider that we are doing MSc, so we will go ahead with PhD. I know why you have done your BSc, because you have done with POC. And you are doing MSc because you are done with BSc. And that trend will stop now, actually, see, right? So the outside world is not so pampered, like your teachers are pampering you, your parents are pampering you, everybody is pampering you. But outside, it's not like that. Okay? They'll just have a meeting and throw you out from the institute. At least institute, they'll reconsider, not the companies. Because I'll tell you some examples. Now, what is the examination pattern and scheme of evaluation? See, underline one thing. You have to read the best of the best books line by line. And the rest is, let them ask whatever the number of questions or whatever the negative marking, whatever the pattern. So, but there is no subjective kind of, exams which is there for PhD. It's all MCQs. Now, the point is, the moment I say MCQs, you say, okay, first of all, MCQ itself is, very easy. We can just try to answer either C or D with head and toss, we'll see. The moment you get a paper or you just sit in front of the monitor, both your interleukin as well as adrenaline levels will increase. You mean to say, what? Interleukin-1 is an endogenous pyrogen which orchestrates the hypothalamus to increase your body temperature, and adrenaline normally it induces tachycardia. It's not bradycardia. Tachycardia is an increased heart rate. Both will occur, right? Because I have experienced that 3 times before I passed CSM. But you are very advantageous. You are in an advantageous environment, fortunate enough that you are knowing about these exams when you are in MSc, right? Now the other thing is you do have 3 parts like part A, total 20 questions will be. Look at the the challenge that they pose at section C. They'll ask you 75 questions and you are supposed to write only 25 questions, and each question will carry 4 marks. And to be very frank, if you write only 25, section C 25 questions, you are going to pass the exam. Nobody will pass the exam by scoring 85% or 90% in CSIR or ICMR. So mine is actually 7th rank. It is for 123 marks. It's a long rank. Imagine if I write now, I'm sure I'll get first or second rank. Anyhow, I'm not eligible for JRF because of age bar, right? Now, you have total 145 questions and there's total of 200 marks. If you score above 100, 110 maximum for general, so I am sure that you are going to pass the exam. So for OPC and all, it is almost 100, 98, maximum 10 to 12 marks differences will be there. And there is a lot of other perks for the reservation candidates. Now look at this. What is the difference between CSIR net and UGC? This is the biggest confusion among all the people, so especially the student category. Now what is UGC CSIR and what is UGC net? See, UGC CSIR net is different from UGC net because I'm not going to talk too much about UGC net because they conduct exam in the field of humanities, so economics, political science, Hindi, Kannada, Malayalam, all these things, right? But whereas CSIR, the UGC CSIR, which is a joint UGC CSIR, they conduct the exam in the field of sciences such as chemical, art sciences, physical sciences, the mathematical sciences as well as physical. No, we belong to that, like because so CSIR UGC, joint UGC CSIR exam. So science category like mathematical sciences, physical sciences. Whereas in case if you want to become a Kannada lecturer doing MA in Kannada, you are supposed to write not joint UGC CSIR net, you are supposed to write UGC net. Imagine you are doing an MA in English in Bangalore University, you wanted to become a government college lecturer and you need to write UGC, not UGC CSIR. Now, what is the most important within this UGC CSIR net, what is net JRF and what is net lectureship? I mean LS. Now, if you clear JRF, the criteria to clear JRF is to get more marks, say for example 110. So if you get 100 as a general candidate, I am sure you are going to clear LS, but you are not eligible to go ahead with your PhD with fellowship. You are eligible to become a government college lecturer in case if your state will notify for lecturer jobs in government degree colleges, right? Whereas in case of JRF, you are automatically eligible to get the fellowship as well as the lectureship. So once it is by default, you are eligible to become a lecturer in government colleges if you clear CSI, and you will also get a fellowship to go ahead with your PhD. But when you clear LS, you are not eligible to get or avail the fellowship, but you can go ahead with you to become a government college lecturer in your own respective fields, the states. Now the other important thing, see, look at that. So what is the number of people that they have selected? Keep this in your mind, it's very clear. Out of administration boom or hype, people will say IAS, IPS, blah, 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 blah. CSR is nowhere lesser than any of these exams because see, I do give a training for civil services at Bharat IAS and KAS at Jainagar 4th block. I do teach to them sometime. One of my students is there by name Karthik Siddharth. Okay. He has struggled a lot to clear the LS, but he has easily cleared the prelims and mains of Karnataka Administrative Service. And he said, sir, by the time we read Leninger, okay, I think I can read all the NCERT, economics, political science. That's what, even I have done that. 1336 pages of Leninger is almost equivalent to all the books of the prelims and mains, because even I wrote that exam. So when I got bored of reading continuously for 14-15 years in biology, I just gave an attempt of Karnataka Administrative Service. Now, so somehow I didn't get through because reservation, there are little things for them. Now, December 2009, 19, 3,841 positions has been given for JR. So that means for every student out of these people, they have committed to give you almost 50,000 consolidated fellowship for 5 years, along with the contingency or HRAs. Now, if you look at LS, now usually the people who clear LS will be normally more than the JRFs. And the marks what they are supposed to score is 110 for JRF or maximum 98 or 97 for LS. Now, if you look at the recent June to 2021, the total number of people selected for JRF throughout the country is 3,700 and LS it is 4,500. So there will be always between 3,500 to 5,000. There was only 1 year that they have given 5,000 JRFs, okay, and 6,000 LS. And if you look at the total number of candidates appeared for December 2021 examination. So for JRF, it is 1,18,861, and for LS, it is 40,963. I am saying that is appeared people, and these are all same. This is the appeared people, okay, and that's what they have cleared. Now just take out the percentage of people who clear JRF and compare that with Indian Administrative Service, you will get to know. Right? This is nowhere lesser than that. Don't neglect this. And the greatest misconception about CSIR is, say there are 3 parts, part A, B, and C. Now people will keep on asking me, sir, is there any separate cutoff for section A or section B or section C? So actually there is no separate cutoff. For example, when I wrote my CSIR first time, I was not aware of the fact that the last so little mathematics questions or physics questions. Actually, it is not the real chemistry or depth physics questions. It is basic day-to-day common sense questions based on physics and based on chemistry. They don't ask you deep into E is equal to mc squared. They'll ask you so a very basic general chemistry and general science or physics questions. I have not scored even single mark in section A when I have cleared first time. What does it mean? If you are weak in little chemistry or weak in little, physics or other things, don't worry about that. How much marks you require is 100 marks. Total marks is, so the total marks, year mark for this section A is only 30 marks. You leave that 30. There is still 170 marks are there. Don't worry. There is no need to score 170 or 160. You score 100, that's enough. You'll get into national institutes. Okay. So there is no separate cutoffs. You score, that's what I'm saying. If you do really well in section C, right? That's enough. No, you require 95 or 96 marks to clear either LS or JRF depending upon the reservation. So there's no need to scratch your head regarding, oh, they'll ask you a lot of chemistry questions. No, nothing like that. Even the second time I got only 2 marks. I see. If I keep on displaying all the certificates, what I got and all the experiences, what I was doing with my CSR, that will turn out to become a seminar in order to say what I am, what I have done. So that's not required. Now the other most important, cutoff percentages. See, actually I have kept only for 2 years here. I have given a printout of almost which says 6 to 7 years cutoff percentages to madam. I think she will display that in your notice board and just watch that. You will get to know. If you belong to general, so how much marks you have to score? You just consider that June 2019. So unreserved, 52.5 means you are supposed to score only 104 marks out of 200. This is percentage. Right? You don't understand anything about this. That is almost equivalent to that only, 54, 55. The highest which I have seen is 59. That's it. Maximum times it is 54 to 55 percentage. So that is, it's 104 marks to 110 marks. Right? Now for lectureships, you look at this. Say for example, you have 33 marks for economically weaker sections, and OBC you need to score only 40. That means 80 marks. That's it, out of 200 marks. Can't you score 80 marks out of 200 marks after a rigorous study of say 4 months, when you are scoring 80-90% in common exams, right? You have to think about that. Now, if you just look at this again, say 49-50 means 100 marks. You have again 47 less than 100. 33 means almost 66 marks, 33% annually. It's very simple. So the same thing, that's what I said. Don't get confused. In case if you are really interested, I am sure you'll go through with the slides which I'm going to forward it to you. So provided if I get your emails and emoluments and contingencies. Now, for example, if a person who is PWD, person with disability, right? If you just try to understand basic biology and try to answer 25% of the questions, he will be given 50,000 fellowship. And similarly for the SC, STs, you need to score almost around 56 to 60 marks. I am just alerting you people, read basic biology, especially who have reservations, and encash the situation to get into national institutes. Of course, getting 60 marks or 70 marks out of 200 is not very difficult thing. Now look at the emoluments or contingency and HRS, how much you will get this. See, for JRF, it is 31,000 per month for 2 years and 24% HRE. And it depends upon how much HRE you are getting. If you do your PhD in Bangalore, you will get 24. If you do it in Mysore, you will get less than that. If you do it in Tumkur, you will again less than. Say, to be very frank, who will go, if you are a Bangalorean, who will go to Tumkur to do PhD? That too with CSI. To be very frank, I am very straightforward in that. So there will be many people who comes to my chamber in my institute and say, you are not going to do any kind of PhDs in state funded. I am not against to that. I'll just come back to that point later because I am also from Bangalore University student. No, that doesn't mean that you have to keep on, praising the university that what you see. You are supposed to have. You should dare to say what is wrong that's happening, right? So at least that. Now, so for SRF, I mean JRF 2 years, SRF 3 years. You will get 35,000 per month for 3 years, 24% HRA. In total, you are going to get only the fellowship and contingency almost around 30 lakhs by the time you do PhD, and that is exempted from the taxes. You understand? Say for example, if you have if you have a little other money which has been kept aside by the end of your PhD, you can have a small flat also in Bangalore. So that's what I say. If any, particularly depending upon the financial situation of the families of girls who come and meet me for this CSI and all, right? I will give them the plan like this. You start, I'll guide them. Definitely they pay me the money as a fees. I'll guide them and I'll strictly instruct them to save almost 60% of the fellowship what they get. By the time they are ready to get married, they'll have their own 20 lakhs in their bank account. There's no need to depend on the parents, right? That's what I can just display the list of 9 girls who are doing that, right? Look at, if you have 20 lakhs, now you might have around 100 200 rupees in your purse, but you are supposed to be accountable to that. You have to explain to your brother or sister or parent, okay, I have utilized 30 rupees for art or 20 rupees for ice cream. And imagine if you get 50,000 every month at the end of the month and you can do whatever you want. That's what I have enjoyed actually. I have never seen 5,000 in my life where I can do whatever I want till I get 84,000 at a time from New Delhi. You just imagine a person who has not seen 5,000 has got 85,000 at a time. No, I think, I live in a place where there is very provoking environment for shopping. That's Jainagar Fourth Block. And just adjacent to Nimmans, right? Now, contingencies, the little differences are there. Every month you will get contingency, right? For example, and keep this in your mind. Contingency, it will be divided into every month. So in total, you will get say 30,000, 20,000 or 15,000, whatever it is. So because, see, every year end, I used to take my 30,000 and I used to go to Jainagar Fourth Block and to purchase all the stationeries, like, pen, pencil, pen drives, scales and whatever, A4 size sheets, whatever you want. Now, if you want to purchase a pencil, you have to beg money from your brother or parents, right? Look at this. That's what, there are a lot of facts, but that is there. So whenever you achieve something. Now, the other thing is Indian Council of Medical Research. Of course, you all know that it's an apex body which is established for the formation, coordination, and promotion of biomedical research. And again, this is one more platform. So for you to get a fellowship. So I got from that also, this also, everything, because it tempts you once you understand the subject. It tempts you to keep on writing the. Otherwise, why should I write the so many times CSR? And whenever I cleared CSR or ICMR, I used to write a letter to them. No, I don't want this fellowship. You just give it to somebody else. But just to keep up myself, yes, I am in touch with subject. So I used to. Now again, there is only three parts for that. Here there are only two parts. And underline the most important thing, if you read CSIR, almost 80% of the subject knowledge what you want to crack, all the license competitive exams is done. Only 20% variation is there. That variation, say for example, the name itself indicates that Indian Council of Medical Research will concentrate more questions, little bit more questions on epidemiology, bacteriology, virology, drugs, antibiotics, all these things. Okay, medical history, medically related. That 20%. That's okay. And you have compulsory general aptitude questions also. So general, and see, to be very frank, one of my students, two of my students has got the best ranks. There is only 126 fellowships has been given in 2021. So 89th rank and 5th rank in this result for my students. See, the party it's very simple actually. It's very simple. I don't know why they have constructed party and party. Let's see. In case if ICMR follows the same thing like how CSI follows, they might their ego might get hurt because they have designed their own pattern. Now 100 what is that subject related questions are there. So which is only 75 has to be answered. So as I have mentioned here very clearly, 2021 there is 126 fellowships has been given. The highest percentage is 81.6 and the lowest is 50. And keep this in your mind. The next highest is 72. Nobody has got. So below 72 only, 72 to 60 maximum people has got the ICMR. So only 126. But you might be thinking, sir, throughout the country, how come it is only 126? I'll let you know how many thousands of fellowships are ready for you in case if you have basic knowledge in biology. Now the most important thing is this is what they'll call for the May. Usually deadline is June and the examination will be in July. See, I have not mentioned here the perfect dates because they have got irregularized a little bit, and I am sure by this year it is going to become regularized. Now the most important thing is biotechnology eligibility test, DBT BED JRF. If I'm not wrong, earlier there was only biotechnology people were eligible to write this. That's most important. Now microbiologists, biochemists, anybody can write. It is just a department that they are conducting their own entrance exam. The number of fellowships might be less than your CSI. So you might say, sir, it's only 126 fellowships. Do you think we can compete? If everybody will think like that, then who is the winner there? So if I'm not wrong, so then again, if you look at the minimum percentage, everything is same. There's no need to waste about this because there's more important things to be discussed. The last, the one thing which I need to discriminate here is category 1 and category 2. So category 1, in the category 1, if you clear DBT BED exam, right, you can go anywhere in the country or to any institute, even if you go to CFTRI, which is a CSIR institute, or you go to DBT, that is INSTEM in Bangalore, by clearing DBT BED exam. So for example, CFTRI is a CSIR institute, right? By clearing DBT BED, you can go and do PhD there. In case if you clear your the category 2, you are supposed to go and work as a JRF only in DBT funded projects, right? No, whatever the questions you have, you can just mail me. I'm ready to answer for that, and definitely. But now only it's better to be. And the most important thing, the people who are there in 4th semester of MSc, they can start applying for this because recently it was got notified, and I have given one advertisement sheet also to Professor Indu Madam, and she is going to display that. Go ahead, at least the first semester people, just try once. So you apply for this, you try once, you understand what kind of questions they'll ask, and then by second semester you start preparing. By the end of by the last day of PIMS, so you're not supposed to get confused what to do after stepping out from PIMS. You have to decide from PIMS to NIMS or KIMS. That's it. Or aims. You understood? So then you go outside and already it is little forest kind of area and you get confused what to do. See, there will be no confusions in only one time. That is what is your subject knowledge. There is nobody will help you, neither your relatives. I mean it, nobody will help you to get a PhD or to get a best life except Cube or Gerald Carr or Gardner or Nelson and Fox. I mean the authors of these great books. Now the last qualifying percentage is 194. Here also there is a very great story to say that one of my students has cleared DBT better by scoring 194 this time. And earlier she has missed DBT bet with 1 mark. So that is what, that's what. Luck will favor only the prepared mind. Now if you say you require 90 marks, now if you are already worked out properly for 88 marks, the luck will help you to get 2 marks. It's not that you score only 60 and you are in need of 90 and you don't say my luck is not good, because most of the people who are not able to do, they always attribute that failure to this predetermined situations as well as luck. Okay, yeah, I am sure the luck will never support you in case if you are not prepared. I have seen people, okay, if you keep on writing 10 times, you might ask me a question, sir, no, I don't prepare, normally I'll prepare and go and write CSR, I'll keep on writing, what is that, say 10 to 15 times since I can write my exam up to the age of 32. They are not the exams where you can clear by luck. It is impossible. You write 10 times, you don't clear without any preparation. Now, this is the one where you can start applying. This is very, very important. See, you apply, you go to the exam, you study them, come back. In case if you fail, that's okay. No, see, nobody in my circle, nobody has cleared CSR without failing. But that failure should be there before you leave PIMS. Now, after the means, it's waste of time. Again, you have to spend another 6 months time. Now, these are all the list of DBT institutes. Say CDFD, you have Instem in Bangalore. So we have one DBT institute in Bangalore, one in Karnataka, one CSIR, one DST. So Instem, which is there in the GKVK campus, is again DBT. You have Rajiv Gandhi Center for Biotechnology, your National Brain Research Center. So that means to say that as of now, there are so many institutes which comes under DBT. I'll tell you how many institutes are there under CSIR and ICMR, so in a separate slide. Now, again, another fourth option is graduate aptitude test in engineering. I mean, if you don't get confused that why I'm saying engineering, it is GATE, Excel. I mean, the life sciences are also you can write GATE in biotechnology. So this is for admission to postgraduate programs such as MTech as well as direct PhD. So in Indian Institute of Science and Indian Institute of Technology. As of now, there was long back, there was only 7 IITs were there, but now there are 23 functioning IITs and 7 ISAPs, where you can get into PhD. So, but the cutoffs will be very high. And if you talk about IIT Roorkee, not all IITs will offer you a PhD in biology again. There are 23 functioning IITs. Not all IITs will take you for PhD. There's only 4 IITs, right? Now, in GATE examination, you can write GATE biotechnology also, and you can write GATE life sciences also. My personal opinion and advice is, though you are from MSc biotechnology, it's better to take up GATE life sciences for this exam, because there will be a lot of fermentation related questions in biotechnology which you may not be able to answer. Whereas in GATE life sciences, so you have an aptitude questions around 15%, compulsory chemistry of 25, and subjects around 60. In this 60% of the subjects, you have to score biochemistry, Microbiology, zoology, botany, and food technology. Out of this 5, you have to select only 2 in the examination, right? Now, both the papers consist of 65 questions and a total of 100 marks. Now, I mean to say that even if you write now the GATE exam, I'm sure you will score 80%. Now, if you just put in 2 months, hard work into that, it will go to 90. Now, 90 is not enough for you to get into IIT. That's what 3-4 months of hard work will definitely make you to get more than 98%, and you'll get into National Institute. So, Roorkee will take between 80 and 90, right? Now, the other one is Karnataka State Eligibility Test. Now, I don't know why the concept of state level eligibility test was being allowed by UGC to the states, but my opinion on that is, to be very frank, when there is a body at the central level to conduct the national eligibility test, why are states conducting their own cases, their own sets? My understanding, it might not be acceptable by many people. So in case if the people of a particular state are not that much efficient to clear national eligibility test conducted by UGC, they have to get compromised to this state level eligibility test. Not all tests, again, all states conduct this state level eligibility test. It's only 10 to 11, states. Considering that there is a lot of diversified students here from different states, just I'll display, see, the Maharashtra, Goa, Tamil Nadu, and all these, the states conduct their own set exam. Now, you might ask me a question, what is the difference between set and net? Imagine Padma Shri Institute of Science and Management is selecting a lecturer judge. There are 2 people, one is net and one is case. Definitely they will take net only, right? And even the salary will be different. And so there are a lot of institutes where they offer you JRF question based on net answer, but not based on case set, right? Now see, today there is a KEA examination is going on, and it is possible for me to fix today because I am free from that set, because most of my students are writing KEA based on net and case set. So for the 5 biochemistry positions and 31 botany positions and 50, almost on 30 or 50 zoology and botany positions. So for government college, all of them have clear net and case set, right? So now you have, again, the pattern will be little different. So qualifying marks in case it is 40% in both the papers for general and 35% for other categories. And in that, so top 6% of the total candidates appeared in both the papers will be declared qualified in the test. See, I was an in charge, now also an in charge for CSR classes at Maharani College, right? 11 people have wrote CSI, this KSET. All 11 people have cleared the KSET exam. So that's what 100% results I got. And now they are waiting for the CSIR, the results where the scorecard has already been released. The percentile. We have to wait for another 2 to 3 days to understand how many of them have cleared CSIR strategy. It's not so easy to get a CSIR in the college and go ahead with your, the PhDs. Now, the most of the times, what I personally feel when I ask them what went wrong, why are you so weak in subject, why can't you able to clear this, entrance exams? They say they will never take the blame on themselves. They say, sir, my teachers are like that. The library is not. No, you see, 1 rack books is enough for you to clear all the entrance exams. If I'm not wrong, you will have more than 1,000 books in pins, more than that. So if I keep Devlin or biochemistry, so there's the famous book biochemistry itself is not there in the racks. But in case if I keep them, nobody will touch that. Oh, it is already 7 pages. So that's what there are 2 books where I used to keep on my table. That is, one is Eric Canton, which is called Bible of Neuroscience, and Bible of Biochemistry. Both of them weighs around 15 kilos. By looking at that fatty book itself, you will decide yourself, no, this is not my cup of tea, because I have experienced that. You're all born to win, to be very frank. But somehow, subconsciously, you made yourself to conditionally fail. Now, what happens if I bring a vulture, when it is vulture egg and put it into in, and whenever the vulture is ready or eagle is ready, and when it is growing up along with other chickens, it will never try to fly. But it is born to win, but it was conditioned to lose. And you think, oh, CSRs are new in the ICM. Do you think we'll be able to do it? That's what the question which I used to ask myself when I was in MSc. It is possible. It is possible. I'll tell you that. Okay, now, what next after clearing these exams? See, I have mentioned only for the best exams. I'm not going to talk about internships. All the things are there, whatever I have mentioned, you are eligible to write, and you have a lot of options. And just cut short at almost 60% of the information, but I have just highlighted the best four. Now, what next after clearing these exams? Right? See, first of all, you clear, but I'll clear out the other doubts also. So the CSR, see, look at this. There are 36 CSR institutes, 11 of which are life science institutes. Like say, one institute is CFDRI, which is there in Mysore. There is only one CSIR, which is totally related to biology, and we are not worried about ICM institute because it does a lot of little epidemiology work, that is NITM, Belgaum, and CDRI Bangalore. But there are a lot of DBT institutes, like 19 DBT institutes, which I have already shown. One is INSTEM in Bangalore, and 18 institutes which comes under DST. Again, DST, see, that's what. When I have cleared ICMR, I went to JNCSR to do my PhD. And I used to work just almost half a day. I used to be there in Professor CNR Rao's lab, who is a Bharat Ratna award winner. No, you might know in the good professors here, because I used to go and get nanoparticles and to work on HIV. I worked on HIV for 1.5 years in JNCSR also. Now 26 ICMR institutes are there. You look at this, there are 36 out of 11 biology institutes, 19 plus 18 plus 26. And along with this, there are a lot of central universities. You clear your CSR or ICMR or DBT and go to any of these institutions, definitely you will get. And I have not mentioned here IAC. IAC comes under different things. Then again, NIMANS, there are some institutes which comes right away under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and such as like NCBS also, Department of Atomic Energy. You are eligible to go and do your PhD. Now I have done my PhD in NIMANS via CSIR. Earlier I have joined to JNCSR via or through ICM. So here, again I'm telling you, don't worry about which fellowship, which institute. So in case if somebody will ask you a question, you are supposed to be able to answer. Another most important thing which I have seen when I used to select candidates when I was in JNCSR also, when I have interviewed some lecturers also, so for the position, and presently now also, what I am experiencing is, they say, what is the expected salary? In the sense, they say, in an American accent, right? Sir, actually, I'm searching for this. I'll tell you the other headweight things that what you want to take out from your brains. They say, sir, 30 to 40,000. This is in an accent, American accent. Now, the moment I laughed, okay, they say, I'm from MSc microbiology from, say, I have experienced that people will say that I'm from so and so college by raising their eyebrows, or I'm from, say, Christ, I'm from Jain, I'm from Bangalore University, I'm from Mysore University. The next question, if I ask what is the significance of refractive index, what is numerical aperture, they don't know. But they want 30 to 40,000 salaries. No, there are salaries, there are places, but are you ready to answer the basic questions? Now, the common dialogue is, what is your next plan? Sir, I'm planning to do cancer biology research. Cancer biology, cancer biology. They don't know what is the difference between cancer or callus or tumor suppressor gene or P53 or PRB. They don't know anything about the kinds of cancers or the basic things. No, but they wanted to do that. See, if you want, for example, an iPhone, if you want an iPhone, you can say, I want iPhone. You dad will get that, but that's not the case with case with your PhDs. That's very difficult. That's what I said. Both interleukin 1 and adrenaline levels will increase as the moment you would. But that is again, that's not that much difficult to clear these exams. In case once you have done that, so you have so many institutes apart from many other IITs. I have not again mentioned here the IITs. They comes under different category. you have NIMANS, you have NCBS, and then again, well, if at all, I think considering that there are many people are there who are from North also. So you can study here, you just clear your CSR exam here, and if you want to go back to your mother states, just go back. See, there is North India, NIA, or ICGB, IGIB, CDRI, Lucknow, NBRC, Maneshwar, and you have IICB, Kolkata, Indian Institute of Chemical Biology, UTech, Chandigarh. And South India, you have JNCSR. Bangalore is the best actually, say, for South people, because Karnataka itself will have JNCSR, INSTEM, NCPS, IIC, NIMANS, so and other institutes. Of course, I prefer only these 4 or 5. No, because I recommend you to go on, to be very frank and straightforward. After clearing CSR, I don't recommend any of my students to go on to PhD in Gulbarga or some other places. Because somebody else may say, because that is the statement where I can say just to escape from. In case if some people will, oh, Gulbarga is talking wrong about Gulbarga. No, I love Gulbarga in other sense. So there are these are the institutes. See, the respect, prestige, and dignity, and all other things what you get in case if you get into an institutes like JNCSR or NCBS or IIC or NIMANS and all. Imagine if a girl wanted to go for a shopping in the evening within a radius of 4 kilometers. JNCSR will send you a car with a security. You know that? And that happens only when you have a fellowship. And I'll tell you one more thing which I have experienced in myself. On Sunday morning, you'll get a mail from canteen department saying that today afternoon we are serving the chicken or non-veg. No, just tick out what kind of non-veg you want. That's what they, that's how they take care of you. So that is possible. You'll have everything. And even they screen a movie also every week. The newly released movie in the theater. There's a theater. Once you just go back, see. Many times you have gone to some shopping malls or Lal Bagh or Kabul Park or Wonderland. At least for my sake and your sake, you just visit JNCSR once. You will get to know what is you might be seeing some like very flowery and motivating words like cutting edge research, right? You will see there. Now, of course, you have a lot of, in addition to these institutions, we have a lot of IITs, like 23 functionating IITs and 7 functionating ICERs. ICERs are again, it's an awesome institutions. Now, the most important thing which I wanted to really say about the first IIT in Kharagpur. Actually, it was part of Jawaharlal Nehru's vision to start up an IIT, first IIT in 1951 in Kharagpur on the site of a British detention center. Might be if anybody is from West Bengal, they might understand this. So that the site on which the first IIT was being established is called Ijli's Detention Center, where British people used to detain and put them in that building. Now Jawaharlal Nehru has started to do this. Now the ray of, say for example, the symbol of political oppression instead has converted into the symbol of the ray of hope for technology. Now the most important thing, very unfortunately, and to be very clear and concise, the IITs, ICERs, and few other good institutions across the country, right, was intended to become the islands of excellence, floating on the sea of mediocrity. I hope you understood this. The best institutions has been turned out, are intended to become the islands of excellence, floating in the sea of mediocrity. So that means a lot of institutions which might offer you the quality education. Why I have just drawn this point is to note that, so we have quality education in the country, but it is rare. Now that rarest of the rare place, you have to go and you have to find out. Now the other thing is specialized fellowship. For example, if you belong to Muslims or Christians or Buddhists or Sikhs, and also if you belong to SC, STs and physically handicapped. So without seriously writing this CSR exam, No, that's a little compromise in some way you can get into this. But the amount of money that what you get in these specialized fellowships are not that much what you get in CSIR or ICM or ADMT. It's just a compromised one. But I suggest you very honestly, in case if you miss, okay, the real CSR or ICM or ADMT, exploit this. So there are a lot of programs where you'll get funded in case if you are only one kid for your parents. How many of you know that Indira Gandhi fellowship for single girl child? If you are only one kid, you will get it. If you are a Muslim, you will get it. Now, in case if you are an Hindu, if you belong to say for example SC, ST, and you are not able to clear the CSR, you will get it via RGNF or you will get it via the reduced monthly. But whether you belong to Northeast state or Karnataka, girl or a boy or whatever it is, or SC, ST, or physically handicapped, whatever it is, there is a way for you to get into national institutes. Right? Now there are thousands of institutes, thousand for Inspire. Inspire I'm not going to talk because that is for the toppers. And MAN, there is around 1,000. There is RGN, Rajiv Gandhi National Fellowships, there are around 2,000 for SC and 667 for STs. Look at this, 2,667 fellowships will be given to SC, ST people, right? In order to continue, in order to carry out the research in national institutes, right? Now, the other thing is Maulana Azad. Now I need to really mention about this. At least how many of you know about Maulana Azad? No, asking question might waste my time. I'll start saying about this. Of course, this is the guy where I really love, because no doubt that he was, the first education minister of the free independent India and an Islamic theologist, brainchild behind the establishment of first IIT, and also he was inaugurated the University Grants Commission, which has been established way back 1953 as per the recommendation of Radhakrishnan Committee. Then later on, of course, it was been given a statutory statement, status at 1956. Usually, if somebody will ask you when did UGC established, people will say it is 1956. But that is not the right answer in case if you write some exam. They don't ask you this kind of questions in CSI or ICM. They'll ask you in some basic exams like say PTO or KAS or some other exam, KPSC exams. Now keep this in your mind. If at all, if any Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis, and Sikhs are there, and also the physically handicapped people. So whenever this is there, whenever they call for this, apply for this. In case if you get CSIR, don't avoid this, right? In case if you don't get CSIR, just go ahead with this, right? Now, of course, there are a lot of frequently asked questions. Well, when do we apply? How do we apply? All these things. You'll get in this frequently asked questions. You just click that link. You'll get all these things. Done. Now, Rajiv Gandhi National Fellowship also. This is for SC, ST candidates. So you look at the amount that what you get for Rajiv Gandhi National Fellowship and MAN. It is less than CSIR, ICM, or DBT. The top one is CSIR, ICM, or DBT. Right? Followed by this little compromised ones. Now, due to the problems facing from little downtrodden, caste, they do have a reservation. So, but they don't give that much money. They give little less money. Of course, whatever it is, that at least you will get around 16, 18,000. That's enough. Maximum people whom I know who are doing PhDs in state universities right now, they are seeing help. There's no money for 5 years, right? And of course, that frustration will be there for both the people who are doing PhD in national institute as well as state. But at least at the month end, you'll be happy, 50,000. Okay. So, but even without giving that for 5 to 6 years, you are working, outsourcing your work, spending a lot of money, and coming out with the substandard competitiveness. Again, it is of no use. If somebody will call you tomorrow, why can't you come and join for a PhD under me because I am a guide? So don't do that. Right? Clear your CSI and RICM or DBT and go ahead with standard counseling protocol, get into national institute, and you will have something to do with your the rest of the life. Right? Now applications are already there. Now, most of the people, what they do is when they are in final year or when they come out, whenever some of our friends or relatives are writing the CSR, and they'll write once and they'll wait for another exam throughout the year, and that is a bad idea. Now imagine first years, considering that there are more than 10 to 50, 100 first year MSc people are there, start looking into CSR syllabus first, and you start preparing. When you are in, say for example, third semester, so January, third semester, you can write GATE exam, right? Now followed by demands for your neurophysiology, and 80% of the questions what you get in all these examinations are from the syllabus of CSI. Now common sense is what, when you write Niemann's examination, that 20% difference is either they'll ask you about neurotransmitters or neuroscience related diseases or anatomy of the brain, something like that, right? Now again, if you write, say for example, the Cancer Biology Institute, definitely they'll ask more questions on cancer, 20%, only 20%, right? Now DBT bed, as I have already mentioned, they have already been called up. So the final years are first years. You look into that, start applying for that. By the time you are out of pins, you will be ready with your fellowship. Otherwise, they don't talk to you also, right? In the institutions. Now again, JNU, May exam, ASR, they also will have an exam. Again, you have a HCU. Again, you have CSIR. You have IC number. Again, CSR, because I said CSR will conduct the exam 2 times, and then during December, NCTS. Now keep this in your mind. By reading continuously, right? Attending so many exams with a lot of accountability and commitment and consistency in your preparation, even if you fail so many exams, means underline a consistent commitment. Definitely, I can there will be one inference that even after writing so many exams with continuous commitment, if you're failing, means there might be some issues with your frontal cortex of the brain, because most of the times, whatever I speak in any of the forums, so my brain will subconsciously go towards the brain only. If somebody will get emotionalized, I used to speak, okay, there might be some issues with your amygdala. Amygdala is an anatomical region of the brain which dictates the emotional behaviors of human beings. Especially that is more sensitive in females, unfortunately. Because this has been studied. Amygdala is a portion or an anatomical region in the brain that directs you the emotional behavior, right? So some might be whether you become more emotionalized for a normal situation or not, it is not depends upon the location of the situation that has happened. It depends upon how sensitive your amygdala is. So look at this, so many exams are there. Now, combined all together, see, it has become next to impossible for me to construct the same slide for this year, but this is for previous year. See, CSI will give you 3,500, 220 ICM. They have changed actually. So this year it is 126. Now there is DBT. Total this time they have given almost 800 because due to COVID issues. It will be fluctuating. Now you have a lot of fellowships like 1,000. Then you have 756. Don't get confused with that. So I have not told about this. So the remaining 254 is earmarked to what is that? Your women categories. And this time, what I have seen, the MAN, Maulana Azad National Fellowship. How many Karnataka students have got? It's not how many of we are going to get. It is fixed based on population. It's only 39 positions has been fixed, for MAN. And if you just take West Bengal and UP has the highest MAN fellowship. They'll fix, okay, you are a Sikkim, you are a small state. Okay, you will have only 10, MAN. Or UP, almost 18.5% of India's population. Okay, let me give you around, say for example, 200 positions. So it's like that. There are many states where there are only 4 MAN fellowships, right? Now, the other PM or Prime Minister's Research Fellowship also is there. That is next level. Now there are 23 in total, 6,000 PhDs all together. You have a lot. Just look at this. You write CSR, ICMR, DBT, you try for month, you try for RGN. Imagine an SC student who is really good, right? If you want to start this PhD in the nearby future, in case if you miss CSIR, you can go ahead with this, what is that, RGN. But once he clears, the CSIR, he can shift the fellowship from RGNF to CSIR. Everything is possible. Everything is possible, right? Now, that's what my question is. Why not and why can't you be the one among the successful candidates in the near future? So many are there. So 1,000 fellowships, 2,000 fellowships, 6,000 fellowships. So, but you don't, that's what the thing is, CSIR, I think some people don't know Kannada, right? Now, books for biology competitive exams. Now, the most important thing what I have seen is, I have seen some books which says like this, what they're instant notes on molecular biology, the handbook of cell biology. Don't touch that kind of books right away. Because some people just out of a greed to get little money via publications, they write all nonsense. Now, not even one single question you will get in CSR. I'll give you an example. Let me be very open and frank. There is a book called Woodcards. There are 1,800 questions are there. The Woodcards book say CSIR preparation. The moment you see CSIR there, you spend around 500 rupees or 600 rupees and you purchase a book. So it has happened same with me. I have purchased with a lot of difficulty. Not even single question out of 1,800 questions I got on that attempt from this Woodcards. No purchasing of study material, no purchasing of this instant notes on molecular biology, or what is that? The handbook of cell biology, right? Now, if I ask you like mitochondria, the maximum they say it is power of the cell, energy, it creates energy currency of the cell. Nobody speaks whatever bad protein or phosphatidylserine serine or cardiolipin or say your externally extrinsic apoptosis, which is triggered by mitochondria, right? Now, look at this. This is very, very important. Now, so this is a partial list of students who have cleared CSIR under my guidance from past 2 years, who has already been placed in national institutes, and they got a very good ranks also. So I mean to say, I don't want to speak too much about promoting my institute as a training center for the CSIR and all. I think by this time you could have been already known that I am into this one only, right? See, now we have a lot of other people. There's a big list actually. Almost big list means there are 66 people. Now keep this in your mind. Show me one college, I'm talking to you very straightforward. Show me one college which has produced 10 CSIRs in 1 year. I will go and work freely in that college. 10 CSIRs, 5, no. Not even 5, 3, no. Show me one college. So we have, people will say we have this, we have that. I can say, PIMS is a very, it's a very good location actually. But the point, the greatness of PIMS or greatness of, say, Christ or greatness of Jane is not dependent totally on the glassy doors or AC classrooms. Where are you going when you are leaving PIMS, right? Are you going to a 12,000 job or are you going to an Indian Institute of Science Biochemistry department? And the greatness of any college can be judged by looking at where exactly the students are going into, right? So that's what the most important, of course. But don't complain on the libraries, don't complain on the parents, don't complain on the teachers. You have the better place. I know, compared to me, what I have experienced when I was in MSc, and so look at the classrooms, and definitely you'll have a better library than the library which I have exposed to, 100%, right? Now, so of course I do teach for CSIR and all. As I mentioned, I thought I can speak to you only for 2 minutes about what I'm doing with my institute. This is what is my classroom where I can teach for CSIR and all. and keep this in your mind. There are 100 students in one of the college. Okay. Since college is ready to pay money to train them for CSR, everybody wanted to join. But I don't take all the students like that. Even if you come down to me, I will definitely discuss with you for more than 1 hour, and then I'll consider your candidature for CSR. So CSR, if you have just money and don't come down to me, sir, I can pay you 30,000, 25,000. So attitude is very important. No, you will get to know that once you go to National Institute. Now, of course, am I eligible to teach and guide to achieve your goals? That's what the thing is. BSc, best outgoing student, MSc from Bengal University, MPhil from Bharatidasa, PhD from Nimans, and worked as JRF, blah, 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 9 years of teaching and 8 years of research experience, cleared all the national level entrance exams, which I have already, your teacher has already mentioned, and above all, there might be better and the best PhD students than me in IIC or JNCS or NCTS, but how many of them wanted to teach? Now, if I say, people who are there still, who are in demands and all, if they ask me, is there any job opportunities? When I say, why can't you come for teaching? No, literally they say, no teaching, no teaching. How many of them wanted to teach? See, the best results will come out only a person like me who has a PhD from a reputed institute and who is willing to teach. What if I am not willing to teach, or what if I am not obsessed for teaching? Where are you going to get the best guides then? Nobody will say no. See, of course, there will be some people. If you go and say, sir, I wanted to prepare. I'm preparing for CSR. I wanted to. Good, very good. Read well. This is not enough. Okay. See, I teach for 400 hours, n number of mock tests, the most relevant assignments, one-on-one meeting. So that's what I do it here. So this is what the unit features, 400 plus hours of PPT-based comprehensive classroom sessions, and keep this in your mind. All the syllabus, which starts from biomolecules, which is relevant to biology, the unit 1 of CSI to methods in biology, including evolution, ecology, and developmental biology, everything. It is me only who are going to teach you. There's no next teacher. That doesn't mean that I am not that much greedy to have all the money, whatever you are paid. There is a different reason for that. It is me who is going to teach the cell biology, molecular biology, immunology, ecology, evolution, everything, with the same competitiveness on molecular biology. So people will say, which subject do you like? They say it is molecular biology. So if that is the case, I have to bring 13 best experts. So I have started doing this from past 5 years. In fact, I have cleared all these exams so many times. I should be competitive enough to do that. Now, solving previous class, years, question papers will be there, weekend classes. So everything will be there, but finally, so there is really good promising results from past 4 batches, and above all, the results are guaranteed. Provided if the people who are interested to come and contact me for CSR, if they are ready to take the pressure which I am going to put on them, results are definitely guaranteed. Now, unit wise, there are so many units, 270 hours plus the other hours which I am going to talk. So I'll just, if you are interested, you can get back to me and let you know that. Now, the most important thing, again, and finally, the success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. This was being told by Winston Churchill, the leader Prime Minister of UK during 1940 to 45 and also again 1951 to 55. He was the guy who was called, the father of nation, as the Gandhi as seditious fakir. I do remember if I'm not wrong. Okay. Now, sometimes we say, okay, sir, why can't we take one of my friend as a role model, you as a role model, or Honorable the Prime Minister of India as a role model, or C.V. Raman as role model. I am sure if you really take them as role models, you will become that much big. No doubt about it. The point is, sometimes we can learn the best lessons, even from small animals. even from a monkey also, from a donkey also, from a, say, dog also. One such video I am going to show that to you that really happens in your CSR attempt. So you go and write CSR, you get 5 marks. So the whole my life I cannot clear this. You don't come to that conclusion. Now I'll show you a video. At least learn from this consistency in achieving something from a dog which is trying to cross the wall and get into the place. So after this, what you do? You go back to your village. Say that, sir, I cannot. Right? Look at this next trial also it is done. And I'm sure you require this many trials. You are observing one thing. For the next attempt, it is going a little bit back. It's not going to, okay, prepare the 10%, go to exam. Next time also you're not supposed to prepare 10%, go for the exam. 20, 30, right? See, listen to me very carefully. Sitting for CSR preparation after the MSc is a deadly, dangerous, and irritating thing. You cannot do that after that. Now you start, right? Because that's what I have done. Most of my friends have given up publishing. And what they do is normally in this situation, if they fail CSIR, what next is they got married actually. Most of them. But it was not an option for me that time. Leaving friends, no proper financial support, no teachers, no library, because who will give you library and teachers after MSc? And I came to know that I have a big thing to read. But you start now, if you fail also no need. Don't worry about your failures, right? So you have to fail before you clear the CSI. But I'm asking you to fail before you leave things. So, for example, second semester you write CSI, you will fail. Don't worry. Third semester you write. Nobody will ask you how many times you failed before you clear the CSI. You fail 2 times. The third time when you are in fourth semester MSc, you just give a little extra hard work to that. I'm sure in case if 5 people will clear CSIR and things, and they'll be the celebrities of that month. No doubt about it. Because I know the
yes. How many times they can take?
That's a good question actually. See, I have mentioned in this the women categories, the women candidates, they can write CSR up to the age of 32. Imagine a girl who is doing MSc at the age of 22. So 10 years into 20 times they can write. But don't wait up to 32 years because it's not like state-funded institutions. If you go at the age of 32 after having 1 or 2 kids and getting married, everything at the age of 32, nobody will get you for PhD. Nobody. They will not even spend even 1 minute also to talk to you. So that's what. You finish up your MSc here, try to achieve clear CSI, do a PhD in National Institute, go for PDF, come back and settle down. Yes? See, that's what done. Prior to this commitment, I have worked for 90 rupees also per hour. Backside, I have worked for 90 rupees also per hour. Prior to this, I came to know that it's not the references or recommendation that works out. No, I just sat with the books. Now trust me, I'm not just saying it to boast of myself. Maharani College will pay me. So 3,000 rupees per hour by giving 3 hours continuously in that college. So one visit 9,000. Earlier 3 hours means 300 rupees. Look at this. Prove what you are in biology. They'll give you. There are jobs. Just don't say that Sir, actually, I have job is ready in biocon or PhD nursing because my brother is working, my sister is working. They'll throw you out within 3 to 4 months if you get into such institutes with references and all. No, they will not work out. They'll not work out. And please, I know that by 2021, India is the most youngest country with an average age of 29 years. Don't be too much hurry to enter into employment. I know that the youngsters can be utilized for economic development of the country. I mean, I'm talking about demographic dividend, right? Wait. So that there is a great Iranian saying, when you are at 20s, you are supposed to be strong. When you are at 30, you are supposed to be knowledgeable. When you are at 40, you are supposed to be wealthiest. When you are at 50, you are supposed to be contented. Don't jumble this sequence, right? Wait, okay, you'll get it. But before that, now if you go and see, that's what. There is a position, 1,000 people will apply. Why then only one will get? Definitely you would have been prepared and have a knowledge of molecular biology or a biology. Now you are applying because they have called you up. But they don't take you, right? Now, any questions? 32 years, up to 32 years, and general category people can write only general men, not women again. 28 years. A general woman can write up to 32 years. So the point is simple. What are you going to do, in your life, joining for a PhD at the age of 32, coming out at 39? No? You have to finish everything, including PDF, before 30. Then you will have positions ready. Right? Any questions? Now, can I start asking questions to those people who have already, where I have decided to ask? It's very difficult to identify, but still some people I'm seeing that they are very busy in their mobiles. So it's you only. I'm seeing the green colored clouds. Keep this in your mind, one thing, okay? And this is the last advice. It is an utter terrific disrespect to a person who has come to your college in case if you keep doing this nonsense when he's talking so importantly. This slide which I have displayed, okay, and which the print I have given to Indu madam, it has took almost 1.5 days to me to prepare that one slide. Don't use mobiles. Of course, you have a lot of apps. There was a joke actually. This young generation people has to be alerted by saying that your brain is an app, so that they'll start downloading and using it. Instead, they'll keep on. I have an iPhone. Trust me. My I think 3 years people also know how to use the lot of apps in iPhone. Even I know only 2 buttons, red and green. Trust me, today also, my wife was saying that, yes, why can't you just, put a Google map. When throughout around the clock, if I'm there with students and books, I don't have that much time to go to download and do all these things. And I was terribly got confused near Kengeri. Thank God one of your Padmashri bus was moving. I just followed. So don't use apps in the laptop, in your mobiles now. Trust me, you will have lots and lots of time to do this in your PhDs. You keep a PCR, you can start using, start watching a movie. You put a PCR or you go for, what is that? Your isolated focusing, it takes 16 hours. You do whatever you want, but not now. And don't do this when somebody is talking which is really beneficial to you. No, I think maybe you've not seen a person who comes from some other place and start scolding you on dais itself. So that is required, because I don't consider you are different students and my students are no. I am a pakka, pure, professionally secularistic guy. You understood? I don't discriminate students from PIMS or students from Christ College or students from any other. Same. Don't do that. And I have seen some 4 to 5 people are still doing it. So you don't understand this now, but after you come out from MSc, you'll get to know. And I am sure that most of the people, whenever they call me, by mobile, they say, the moment I ask some questions on microbiology or molecular biology, they straight away say, sir, actually my teachers, they don't take classes properly. Please don't say this to me when you call me and start explaining about why you are so weak, because it hurts me a lot, because I respect the teachers a lot. Okay, so I can know questions, right? At least the people who are sitting in the first benches. No questions? So you are the MSc third semester, right? MSc third semester. Okay.
First semester,
You are on
third
first
semester.
semester.
Both are
See, the best people. That doesn't mean that the fourth semester they have missed the train. The best time for you people is this time. Now what they do is, in case if the coming up CSI if you clear, right? Or else if you fail, you imagine you are clear. No, you cannot leave PIMS and start go to IIS and start doing PhD. No, you finish up your MSc, you will get certificates and send it to Delhi within 2 years, and then you will get a fellowship letter. You understood? Don't wait till you go to fourth semester and write the exam, fail once and twice, and stop attempting again and again. Now you do. See, some of my students, they have cleared when they are in second semester of MSc only. Now they are from HCU, and now they are sending their certificates to Delhi. They'll get fellowship letter very soon, and they can start doing whatever they want. Right? No questions. See, this is what. See, neither I have taught you all the things, whatever it is required for you. Now you are not understand anything. That's what your faces are saying. It looks very blank. Now, if there are no questions, means either I could have been told everything about the topic, which I have not done, nor you have not understood anything. Yes. Good. Come on, please come. Because the question has to be addressed by one person and answer has to go to everyone. That's a good question. See, the girl who has cleared ICMR in the previous attempt was a student from Mysore University by name Rakshita. She was from botany background, right? Now, our question is, she is from food technology side. Unfortunately, this syllabus for CSIR is same for food technology, MSc food technology people, botany people, zoology people, everybody. No, there is a syllabus for that, whether you are from food technology or from microbiology or from botany or zoology, applied, whatever it is, you study the syllabus and you write. For example, in case if you want to continue your further studies in CFTRI, which is one of the best food research institutes in the country, by doing the MSc food technology, you can go to CFTRI. Now, in case if you want to change the field, imagine you started liking to do the cancer biology, but MSc you are a food technology, no issues. You clear the CSI. If you want, you leave your food technology subjects here only and go and start doing cancer biology. There is no such discrimination. See, now only you are saying, hey, you are microbiology, I am biochemistry, you are a biophysics, blah blah blah. No, when everybody write their exam, when they clear, they become all same for national entrance institutions. You do whatever you want in the post-graduation, do it biochemistry or molecular. See, there is no rule that molecular microbiology should not go and do a PhD in microbiology. What I mind is biotechnology, which I need to do some, the vectors, the genes, blah blah blah. But I have done my PhD in neuroscience. That kind of demarcations will be there only till MSc. Once you are done with that, you are a biologist. That's it. You are supposed to be a biologist. So that's a good question. Okay, now next. I think on the 50% of the people know Kannada, right? The question ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ವಿಪರೀತ ಧೈರ್ಯ ಬೇಕು ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳ್ಬಿಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. Yeah, in DBT. See, it's simple. If you look at the marks which I have displayed for the category 1, it is 194. You look at the category 2, so it will be almost around 180 or 170, depending upon marks. Keep this in your mind. I said UGC, CSIR also, it will be like that. So if you get more marks, you will get JR. So by default, you can avoid fellowship, but you can also become a lecturer in government colleges. But when you clear only LS, you are eligible to get only the fellow, lecture job, not the fellowship. Right? More marks. For example, I have cleared DBT with category 1. So my money will be given by DBT, Department of Biotechnology. Can I go and join to, say, for example, the ICMR Institute? Yes, I can do that. Whereas your category 2 is you have to go and work only in DBT funded projects and the professors. So that means you have less opportunities than a person who have cleared DBT with category 1. And of course, there will be 30 marks difference. And difference of, see, actually one of my students is there who have failed CSIR, not even with the less of 0.5. Yes, he has failed with 0.2 marks less what he requires. 2 marks is also important for CSIR. 2 marks is enough. No, for example, university exams, 85, 86, 87, it will be like that. The rank, 87 is the first rank, 86 is second rank, like that. But in CSIR, imagine, it is 89, 88.9, 88.8. So this 0.1 is there. So 10, some 1,000 people will go away. You understand? So the very narrow selections will be there. Any other doubts?
So after clearing the exams, will there be another moving part?
After clearing the exam, is there any interview? Yes. See, See, the point is once you clear the CSIR or ICMR, seriously, the interviews are formal. That's it. Of course, IAC interviews are there, JNC interview will be there. Imagine if you really express your interest to work along with a particular professor and go and meet him 1 or 2 days earlier to your interview and talk to him. If he is impressed about your interest in his field, definitely nobody can stop him taking you. That's just a formality, just to understand, your attitude. Because you see, I have seen one girl. Let me tell you very, very frankly. Yes, again, I'm saying I'm not anti-feministic. I have experience with the girl candidate. She came for a JRF interview when I was in final year. Final year in the sense, you know what? The bosses will take you out, take your blood out and serum out. It will be situation like that. Boss has asked me to select 2 people. So because he got a project of 14 crores, so he said that to select 2 girls. One girl was saying that to me. Sir, actually, I came just like that because, my aunt is working in the biotech, sorry, she said that some Reddy's labs. I asked her, she said, my aunt is working there, to know the situations, blah, blah, blah. She was saying that. I was terribly irritated. No, actually, my job is ready in some other place. Just I came like that. Means in a national institute, that too for a candidate who is writing thesis and at the 5th year, a lot of frustration will be there. I said straight away, you will see all people like me only in the interviews. I said. So what was the perfume that you have used up today? So she said, one perfume. Oh, I said, it's nice. But National Institute selections, it's not based on the perfume. It is only based on performance. You understand? No, see, and one more thing I have observed. Unnecessary respect. ಕನ್ನಡ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋರು ಮಾತ್ರ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ವಿಷಯ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ವಿನಯ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ you understand there is no need to keep mum myself that when students are talking about their own thing and that guy also because vinaya beko but ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ರೆ so there will be a little less competitiveness and that it's straight matter if you respect somebody too much that means straight away you are not competitive in this subject. You observe that's common psychology. Now, of course, I have read that in Sigmund Freud book, psychology, who is the father of psychology. You understand? So no attitudes, right? So I think I hope all of you. Yeah, of course, there will be interviews. There's no need to worry about that. There is no need to worry about that. They will really ask you very basic questions, and the interviews will be there for 45 minutes. I have seen that my interviews went up to 45 minutes at IIC. That doesn't mean that they'll ask you a lot of depth questions and confuse you. It is a very super good interviews. Let's say again formalities. See, only when the government is committed to give you that many fellowships, then only they'll give you JR. Neither in that institute nor in other institute, your position is ready, fixed. There is nobody can stop you getting your fellowship. But it is just formal. Now, what if you are too much arrogant and see, one of my students, despite the fact that the professor has said that why can't you close the door slowly? She has just shut the door and came out. And that professor, I called him. No. She might be good at CSR. Her ranking was 64th rank, but I didn't like that attitude. She has a lot of arrogance, headweight. You will miss. An Harvard study says, irrespective of the chosen field, right? The best thing, what which makes you to go up and up in the ladder is your attitude. Don't change that, okay? Yeah. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the effective talk that you have given us. You have given us your insights and you have explained the strategies how to crack the competitive exams. Thank you once again, sir. Those who are interested or those who want to know more about assigns, you can always contact your class teachers, your respective class teachers, and competitive exam cell committee members and Dr. Indu ma'am. And the feedback link is being posted in your groups, so do give us your feedback, valuable feedback. On behalf of our college, that is Padma Shri Institute of Management and Sciences, and the organizing team, I'm happy to propose vote of thanks to all of you. Firstly, before that, I want Indu ma'am to do the honors.
I have opted to teach for CSIR. The reason is not to make money, because of the frustration what I have experienced upon repeated failures in the first years of my education. Now, if you trust me, I'll give you the results. I have 100% confidence. 100%, and results are guaranteed. There is no institute and a guy you can see to say that the results guaranteeing in CSIR you should have 2 guns. In CSIR competitiveness, if that is the case, I will have easily 4 guns. I can give you the results, right? And I'll keep this in it. If I don't entertain people with a wrong, head white and all. But I'll get you the results. Provided
If
you
students
come.
are there, you'll be conducting the classes here itself. That's what.
Yes, I think Madam was telling that CSR classes will be conducted here. See, definitely, in case if I get a good batch of people, it's not so easy for me to travel from there to here. I can do that. Not every day. So 300 hours I will teach on. How many hours I will teach or what I am going to teach, how I am going to teach, I am not going to explain, but I'll get you the results. I know that. Because this is just 2 to 3 places I am already doing it, and I am doing it just not for earning money. It is due to my extreme passion to teach that. So otherwise, why should I see? I have 2 papers in JDC. So there are 6 impact factors. One is enough to get into then outside the country. Yes.
Thanks for the opportunity, sir. I request all the students to make use of this opportunity and crack the competitive exams. Anyone can do it, right? So with that note, let me give a proposed vote of thanks. Firstly, I thank Sri Narayanappa sir, the management trustee of PGI, and Satish sir, who always supports us to conduct all these programs. I also thank Principal ma'am for giving us the suggestions in the welcome speech about this competitive exams. I also thank Dr. Raghunath sir for accepting our invitation and delivering us the talk. I thank the organizing team members of the competitive exam cell. I also thank all the participants who actively participated in this session. Thank you one and all.